President Donald Trump is getting a lot of pushback for his sudden endorsement of masks. Huh. Now, in a tweet, well, because of course, right? Um, Along with that tweet, by the way, was a picture of him actually wearing a mask. So you can see that. That's the picture from his Twitter. And he said this: "We are united in our effort to defeat the invisible China virus. And many people say that it is patriotic to wear a face mask when you can't socially distance. There is nobody more patriotic than me, your favorite president." God damn it. Why does he make it so difficult to give him the tiniest amount of credit? Why? You know what? I actually want to be, one day, I want to be like, you know what? I disagree with Donald Trump on a lot, but nice work. Good job, man. I mean, even in this case, like, okay, you were a little late there, buddy, and, about 140,000 deaths late. But good job. You did the bare minimum and you didn't mess it up. But no, can't even do that because, for one, immediate racism. And also, he didn't actually call on anyone else to wear a mask. He just said, many people say that it's patriotic to wear a mask. Of course, right? Now, look, he did call it patriotic, which I agree is good framing. That framing might spur some people to wear masks. And so if it does, great, wonderful. But let's just say he had to do the obnoxious Donald Trump thing. You know it is, right? Nobody's more patriotic than me, your favorite president. No. Look, he could not wait to do that, to trigger the libs. There's no other explanation. Like, he had to. He can't help himself. And he does that. So, again, the media will criticize him. And then he will end up playing victim. Yep. Congratulations. Mission accomplished. Way to go. Because here came the inevitable shitstorm. Starting with American Bridge 21st Century, who points out that in the interview, Donald Trump just said, quote, that masks don't work. In fact, here.
And I don't agree with the statement that if everybody wear a mask, everything disappears. Hey, Dr. Fauci said don't wear a mask. Our Surgeon General, terrific guy, said don't wear a mask. Everybody was saying don't wear a mask. All of a sudden, everybody's got to wear a mask. And as you know, masks cause problems too.
No, they don't. No, that's literal fake news. Masks don't cause problems. Now, look, on the point about Fauci and the masks, right? Look, Dr. Fauci and the federal government at the time, the CDC, were reserving masks for medical professionals at the beginning of this pandemic. Because, look, we didn't have enough masks for the medical professionals in the hospitals, and we were expecting basically a lot of cases to fill up the hospitals. And not only that, but at the time, we also didn't really know how effective masks would be at stopping the transmission of this virus. And so that's because scientists hadn't had a chance to study the virus and look at the transmission rates and look to see what would be the most effective thing. So now, too many people, I think, don't actually understand what science is, or they don't actually understand, how it works, right? They don't realize that science is a process, and getting it wrong is a part of that process. It's an inevitable part of that process, and that's how they come to the right conclusion, is they eliminate everything that's wrong. When something is proven wrong through observation and testing, then the consensus shifts, because now, well, we know what doesn't work. So we're going to go through the process of elimination, through testing, through observation, to figure out what actually does work, what actually is true. It's not just about the answers, it's about the search. And SARS-CoV-2, or COVID-19, coronavirus, it's a new strain of coronavirus, and there's a lot that we don't know, especially a lot that we didn't know at the beginning of this. And we still don't know everything. And anybody who's claiming to know everything, they're not being honest with you. Okay. That said, we do know a lot more than we did. And one of the things that's changed is the fact that we know that masks are effective in limiting the transition of the virus, especially, again, if everyone wears them. Now, how do we know? Well, one way is through observation. We have countries around the world that have adhered to mask guidelines, even in lieu of a lockdown, right? So some countries just did the physical distancing, social distancing, whatever you want to call it, and everybody wore masks. And in some of these countries, South Korea and Japan, were able to avoid lockdowns. I mean, that of course relied on everyone following the mask guidelines. Now, in Asia, masks aren't a big deal, right? You see pictures from China, video from China all the time. They were wearing masks before COVID, right? And so that's not really a big deal in at least China. And as far as community is concerned, well, I mean, there's more of a sense of community in Japan than there is here in America, where we, of course, stress rugged individualism. And so, you know, maybe that whole focus on community and caring about your community, caring about your, fellow citizens and human beings plays a lot into masks. Not only that, but of course, you have trust in institutions, something in America we also do not seem to have, right? But again, we should mask up because it is effective and it has been shown to be effective. But there's more. Brian Tyler Cohen writes, breaking, man buys fire extinguisher after entire neighborhood burns down. That's about what it is, too. Another one says, gee, it only took 5 months, 142,000 dead Americans, 42 million unemployed Americans, 18 states sharply spiking upward, and a 15-point poll deficit to Joe Biden. Ouch. Now, they also add, let's be real, though. You only cared about the poll numbers. You were neither patriotic nor favorite. And look, his poll numbers have been an absolute, utter train wreck. I mean, he's averaged in the swing states alone, states that are supposed to be competitive, down by 5 in the latest polls. Arizona, he's behind by 2. And so, Jesus, man, he is not doing well. Another person adds, imagine how many more people would be alive right now if you did this back in March. It's a good chance that more people might have taken it seriously had the president of the United States actually stepped up to be a leader. But of course, he's not. Another person adds, should have done this 140,000 deaths ago. Would have been nice. Putting aside the gratuitously insulting reference to China virus, it's good to see President Trump belatedly modeling and encouraging mask use. If he had done so in March, instead of disdaining masks for months, many lives might have been saved. And of course, here's another take. People are curious why he finally did this. They told him, meaning advisors, campaign workers, point blank this morning that if he doesn't at least fake it, he's finished in November. It's why he's also bringing back his gibberish daily briefings. He will mess it all up. Those briefings, by the way, a lot of Republicans, many Republicans are saying, to use this framing. But it's being reported that Republicans are worried that he's going to, again, turn those COVID briefings into Trump rallies, essentially. But hey, at least he's, wearing a mask. Oh, son of a... Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a patreon.com/TYT Nation set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYT Nation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.